Hey, guess who's live? Why, it just happens to be me. Yeah, I'm back again. It's Saturday, and I'm here to entertain, if you can call it that. Oh, I itch. There, that's better. So, we're just kicking back here, waiting for 420 to happen, so I can spark something up and then give you the news. So, we're just going to sit here and wait a couple minutes, and I can get buzzed. First one of the day, I might add. Always wait for the show to start on Tuesdays and Saturdays to get high. Normally, I would be stoned out of my ass by now, but I always wait on show days for the 420 to get high. I always give that courtesy to my fans. Okay, extend that courtesy. I don't get high until my friends show up. Well, until 420, regardless of who shows up. So yeah, so I'm just waiting for 420, and we'll get this thing on the road. Oh, I got to find my glasses. I won't be able to read my own handwriting. I got them here somewhere. Here we go. I think I'll clean them first. Wipe on my shirt. Might as well be able to see if I'm going to do this, you know. Probably help. So here we go. It's 4:19 and counting. Okay. I'm not counting. The clock is counting. I don't count. I'm not the count. Okay. For you folks raised on Sesame Street. But we're getting close. It's almost time. Almost time to get the show on the road. I mean, we are so close. We're so close, I'm ready. So, yeah, I'm just waiting here for something to happen. So we're almost there. Yep, just counting the seconds away here. Happy 420, everybody. Got to puff away the few pieces of paper there first, and then we get down. Whoops. I know that. I knew that was going to happen. So it wasn't close enough to the weed. But we're getting there. So now and two. Whoa. Excuse me. And two. Excuse me. Good thing there's nobody here yet. When I sneeze, I don't fool around. Ooh wee. That was a bit much. Even for me. Now, ever since Columbine, police protocol is to establish how many as to how to proceed in the event of a school shooting. The first officers on the scene are to enter the school immediately, confront the shooter, not to wait for backup. Excuse me. They are to confront the shooter, not to wait for backup. Confront the shooter as soon as possible to minimize the number of casualties. That's what they're supposed to do. Okay, ever since Columbine, that's the rule. Okay, first cops on the scene, enter the fucking scene immediately, confront the shooter, minimize the number of casualties. That's the rule. Well, that's not what they did in Texas, okay? They didn't go into the building because they admitted they were afraid to enter the building because they might get shot. Well, guess what? That's what they get paid for, okay? To take risks like that. The shooter roamed outside the building for about 12 minutes, completely unchallenged, okay? Now, the officers should have stopped him from entering the school. The one officer who is supposed to be protecting the school, he drove right past the guy with the gun and went chasing the teacher, okay, who had left the building. Now, police, instead of entering the school, tackled, handcuffed, pepper sprayed, and tased parents who demanded they go into the school, okay, whose kids were being killed. Okay, they're the ones who got the brunt of the police action. Okay, they're the ones that stood outside, while the police stood idly by and let all this happen. And they admitted they were afraid to go in. Okay, that's what they get paid to do, but they were afraid to do it. So what kind of shit is that? A woman who had been handcuffed by the police and then later released jumped the fence and saved her own 2 children before the police even entered the building. Oh, and that's another thing. The police were saying, hey, we swarmed in there and took care of things. No, they didn't. No, they didn't. They've been perpetrating lies about this fucking thing since it happened. Okay? There's one fucking lie after another. Police changed their story. They couldn't enter because of the exchange of gunfire. There was no exchange of gunfire. They were outside. He was inside. He wasn't exchanging gunfire with anybody. He was just killing kids and teachers. Parents said that never happened. Okay, there was no exchange of gunfire. Police claimed they were unable to do their jobs because of parental interference. They weren't interfering. They were trying to get the fucking police to do their goddamn jobs. And they wouldn't do it. So on Thursday, Senate Republicans blocked a bill to create a domestic terrorism office within the federal law enforcement agencies in response to the mass shooting in Buffalo, New York, which left 10 people dead. Legislation would have created an interagency task force within the Justice Department, Homeland Security, and the FBI to analyze and combat white supremacy in the military and federal law enforcement agencies, but was divided along party lines, with not a single GOP voting in favor of the bill. Republicans claim that its politically motivated violence is already covered by by existing laws, and that the bill would open the door to improper surveillance of political groups and create a double standard for extreme groups on the right and left of the political spectrum. Now, there's 3 retired generals: Major General Paul Eaton, Major General Antonio Tagupa, and Brigadier General Stephen Anderson, are warning us of a revolution involving the U.S. military, claiming the GOP is attempting to influence the thinking in the military. The example they give is the National Guard Brigadier General Thomas Massino. He's the head of the Oklahoma National Guard. And he defied Biden's order that all military be vaxxed. He refused to have his National Guard troops in Oklahoma vaccinated, preferring instead to follow the orders of the Oklahoma governor. The GOP takes back the government in 2022 or 2024, we're in trouble. A revolution controlled by the U.S. military would definitely be a revolution. So a 4-judge appeals court in New York on Thursday ruled that Trump and his kids will have to sit for a deposition for the New York Attorney General in her civil suit against the Trump organization. So his lawyers argued in the appeal that testimony in the deposition might be used against him in a criminal case pending in the court in the district court in New York. So this appeals court replied that Trump can still use his Fifth Amendment rights to. He still has his Fifth Amendment right to fall back on. So he can always use that in a civil case, which of course looks pretty criminal in the criminal case if he does. So the wow today is Love Affair, 28.41% THC, and it's a sativa dominant hybrid. So Fox has a whole list of solutions to the mass shootings, none of which include gun control. Some of them are ridiculously absurd. Of course, the first is having an armed security guard on hand. Of course, they did have in Texas to no avail. And then they want to arm the teachers. I don't know. I had a 60-some-year-old art teacher, and I can't imagine her holding an AR-15 to protect the students in the school. I can't imagine that happening. That's just ridiculous, arming the teachers. Besides which, the teachers' unions don't want the teachers to be armed. Okay? That's the last thing in the world they want to do is arm the teachers. That's just ridiculous. Here's number 3. Train the students to shoot. Yeah. I'd want my 9-year-old trained to kill. Okay? That makes no sense. Little Johnny misses his nap. So he's all cranky. Let's give him a gun. Okay? Here's a good one. Let's declare martial law. Okay? You got one person holed up in the school. Let's lock down the whole fucking town. All right? Because then you won't have parents showing up at the scene interfering with the inactive police. That makes sense, don't it? Here's one too. A ring of steel. We need better fences. Better fences around the school. That'll help. You know, let's build better fences. Hey, let's build a wall and get Mexico to pay for it. How about that? After all, it is Texas, right? Let's build a wall and have Mexico pay for it. I think that's a good idea. Oh, we need more Judeo-Christian values. Okay. That's a solution. That's a solution. That's a solution there. More Judeo-Christian values. What's this one here? Oh, hey, the shooter should have known it was a suicide mission. I'm sure he did know that, but obviously he didn't care. Right? He didn't give a shit. I mean, that was obviously not a deterrent. Okay? So I don't even think that one holds water. Okay? Oh, they're saying here, schools should not be gun-free zones. Okay? Anybody ought to be able to carry in a school zone. Now there's a solution for you. They consider that to be a solution, not a problem. Okay? Everybody ought to be able to carry in a school zone. That's a solution. That's not a problem. That's a solution, they say. Okay? Oh, here's another good one here. Put your phone down and get to know the people around you. That'll help. That's a solution. Put your phone down and get to know the people around you. Here's one I don't understand at all. Use COVID funds to harden soft targets. What's that mean? What does that even mean? What are soft targets? And shouldn't we use COVID funds for COVID? I just don't. These are Fox's reasons. These are Fox's ways to curb school violence, none of which have to do with guns. Okay? So we should use COVID funds to harden soft targets. I don't know what that means at all. Take your children to church. I don't know if they mean instead of school or if that's going to make a difference to the children who got shot or to the shooter. I don't know where this applies to take your children to church. I don't know if that saves your kid from getting shot or what the deal is, but you're supposed to take your children to church and that'll solve school murders. Okay. What we got here? Stop the anti-police narrative. Well, I don't know. I think you're entitled to an anti-police narrative when you wait 40 minutes for them to show up, and then it takes them an hour and a half to even go in the fucking building. I think you got a right to an anti-police narrative in that situation. The police station is 2.5 blocks away. Okay, this is not a big city. This is a small town. Okay. What the hell took them so long? You know, there was one police officer that actually did enter the school to rescue his own kids. Okay? He rescued his own kids. Oh, here's a good one. Put in a tripwire that traps the shooter like a rat. Okay, where are you going to put this tripwire where nobody else is going to trip over it but him? Okay? You need a special tripwire marked shooters only. Okay? This tripwire is for shooters only. There's moral rot. We have to do something about the moral rot. Okay? That'll solve it. That'll solve the problem, the moral rot in this country. We have to do something about the moral rot. I think the moral rot's on Fox News. Oh, decrease social media exposure on Facebook and Instagram. So you have to decrease the social media exposure, except that this guy posted on Facebook and Instagram that he was going to do this shortly before it happened. So maybe if somebody had been paying attention to Facebook and Instagram, they'd have caught this guy beforehand. Okay. Hey, buds, welcome aboard. I was just going over a list of Fox News solutions to the massacre. Okay. And none of which include gun control. Some of them are really ridiculous. We should focus on mental health, even though they're opposed to Medicare for all and mental health treatment for everyone paid for by the federal government. You know, they're not about that. Oh, and pray. We should pray. Okay, that's going to help. We should pray while they prey. Okay, because that's going to make a difference. Oh, children should be wearing enhanced body armor. Are you ready for that? Enhanced body armor. Ballistic blankets. Okay. Now, I don't know if you're supposed to have individual ballistic blankets or one ballistic blanket that all the kids and the teacher hide under in the classroom. Because if that's the case, there's nothing to keep the guy from like lifting the blanket and shooting under it. Okay. But yeah, that's one of their suggestions is ballistic blankets. Oh, how's this one? It's up to you to protect yourself. Okay. I'm a 7-year-old. It's up to me to protect myself. I'm on my own. All right. Oh, here's one that Ted Cruz suggested on Fox News. One in, one out. A single entry to the building. Okay. Now talk to the local police and fire department about that. Okay. And I don't think they'd be in favor of that. Well, once all the kids are in the school, they should electrify the doors. Yeah, right. They should put that on this list. I'm telling you, some of the other. I just got to the bottom. I got to read you some of these others since you just got here, because well, an armed security guard, which they had, but he wasn't there at the time. He was busy chasing a teacher. Okay. And then they said, well, they should arm the teachers. Except I had a 60-some-year-old art teacher that I wouldn't trust with a gun. Okay. And I'm sure she wouldn't want to carry one. Get this now. Train the students. Okay. Let's train some 9-year-old to use a gun. Okay. Little Johnny is cranky because he didn't have his nap. Let's give him a gun. How about this? Declare martial law. Okay. That way, all the parents won't be at the school giving the cops shit about how they didn't go in the building, because they'll have to stay in their homes. Okay. A ring of steel. Higher fences. Okay. Build higher fences. And why don't we just build a wall and have Mexico pay for it? Oh, he should have known it was a suicide mission. I'm sure he did. But obviously that was not a deterrent. Schools should not be gun-free zones. Everybody should be able to pack if you're in a school zone. And that way we wouldn't have to worry about crazies. How's that for an answer? That way, if you suspect somebody's a shooter, you could just fucking kill them right there. Nobody'd have to worry about you. Okay? Nobody'd have to worry about you because you got a gun. Okay? You could just worry about everybody else. And don't chase criminals into schools. There you go. Oh, there's some good one here. How about a tripwire, okay, that traps the shooter like a rat? Now, where are you going to put that tripwire? And are you going to mark it? This is for crazy shooters only. Don't nobody else trip over this one? Okay. I mean, honestly, they suggested you put in a tripwire. Then they said, decrease access to social media. Except that this guy posted on Facebook and Instagram that he was going to do this. So maybe they should have been paying attention to social media, So, and here's another one. Put your phone down and get to know the people around you. What the fuck does that have to do with anything? And of course, then they want you to pray. They're fucking crazy. Let me move on with the news here. Chester the molester, Kevin Spacey, had been charged with 4 counts of sexual assault and 1 count of causing a person to engage in penetrative sexual activity without consent in the United Kingdom. The decision was unveiled Thursday by the UK's Crown Prosecution Service, which has spent over a year reviewing a file passed on to them by the Metropolitan Police of London. Some of the charges stem from a time Spacey worked as artistic director at the Old Vic Theatre in London from 2004 to 2015. After a slew of sexual assault allegations in the U.S., the theater undertook an internal investigation, which resulted in some 20 victims who claimed he had behaved inappropriately towards them. The charges in the latest are the latest since allegations of the sexual assault and misconduct were first publicly exposed in 2017 by actor Anthony Rapp, who claimed Spacey made a non-consensual sexual advance toward him at a party when he was a teenager. Rapp filed suit against him in New York. Last month, Spacey filed papers in an attempt to have the case dismissed. Rapp's co-claimant, known only as CD, who also claimed Spacey had abused him as a teen, was dropped from the suit last June as he refused to reveal his identity to the court. In 2018, a criminal charge against Spacey was dropped in Massachusetts because the alleged victim refused to testify. In 2019, the civil suit against him was dismissed because the plaintiff died. His death also meant Spacey sidestepped criminal charges after the LA County District Attorney said they would not be pursuing the case. Spacey also continues to fight a $31 million arbitration claim related to his time on Netflix House of Cards. Spacey was fired following Rapp's allegations. In 2020, MRC, the show's producers, won a $31 million arbitration for loss in profits as a result of Spacey's removal from the show. So that's all the news I got. And I dropped my joint. And it's way. There we go. So Kevin Spacey's in trouble again. So there's a war going on the Supreme Court. Clarence Thomas and the Chief Justice are arguing over what to do with Roe v. Wade. Clarence Thomas wants to make abortions illegal completely. Chief Justice wants to make it 16 weeks. After 16 weeks, you can't have an abortion. Yes. Oh, and you made it. Good to see you, dog. Welcome aboard. So, since most abortions occur in the first 13 weeks, what the Chief Justice is trying to do isn't a bad thing. But Clarence Thomas is a real dick. So hopefully things won't sway his way. We'll just have to see what happens. It all depends on what kind of influence they have on Gorsuch. Because that broad they just picked up, what's her name? I forget. One with 3 names. She's a Catholic, and she's definitely going to go for a total ban. So it's all up to what influence either Clarence Thomas or the Chief Justice have on Gorsuch. He's kind of a wimp. So who knows who will have the most influence? We'll just have to wait and see. So that's all the news I have. That story was just off the top of my head. Kind of like all my hair. So I didn't shave today, by the way. I was rushed. So I'm fuzzy. So what you guys smoking? Today's weed of the week is I got it written down here somewhere. Oh, that's not it. Oh, here we go. Love Affair. A sativa diamond hybrid. No. That's Land of a Thousand Dances, isn't it? Yes. 28.41% THC. Sounds like you. Happy Bubble One. Welcome aboard. Hey, now that you guys are here, I got to read you some. Buds has heard all of these, but these ridiculous reasons that Fox had for this gun massacre in Texas, all these kids getting shot and these 2 teachers. These are some of the reasons, some of the ways that Fox has to control what happened down there outside of gun control. Okay, these are some of the ways that Fox had to control things down there. Okay, of course, first of all, it was to have an armed security guard, which they had, and it didn't help because he wasn't there at the time. He was chasing a teacher. Okay, and who knows why. Just had a most heavenly nap. Well, great. I like those. Now get this now. They said they should arm the teachers, which I'm opposed to because I had some teachers that should not be carrying guns. Okay? I don't know about you, but think back to your teachers and want them carrying guns. And the teachers don't want to do it either. Okay? I mean, that's the last thing they want to do is carry a gun. Teachers' unions don't want teachers carrying guns. So here's reason number 3. Train the students. Okay? Exactly. That was one of their suggestions. Arm the students. Train them to kill people. Okay? And each other. Like that's what's happening now, right? Students are killing students. Martial law. Martial law. There's a good one. That way the parents can't go to the school and give the police shit. Okay? Because they'd be locked down at home. It is. There's been 27 school shootings since the first of the year. Okay? So that's what they want to do now is declare martial law. And like I said, that'd only keep the parents from bitching to the police about not going into the school. The reason the police didn't go into that school, they admitted they were afraid they might get shot. But it's not like that's not what they get paid for, right? That's what they were hired to do. To take chances like that. And since Columbine, that's been the rule. First cops on the scene are supposed to go right in and put an end to the thing. Bosnia in 84 all over again. Students bringing in hand grenades. Yeah, hey, well, it's not like they're not legal. You know, you can own a rocket launcher now. He should have known it was he should have known it was a suicide mission. Well, sure he did. Obviously, that wasn't a deterrent. Okay? Schools should not be gun-free zones. That's a solution, according to Fox. Everybody should be allowed to carry in a school zone. That way, if you see somebody suspicious, you can just shoot them. What if you look suspicious to somebody else? Okay? You're just dropping your kid off, but you look suspicious. Okay? To somebody else. How stupid is that? Put your phone down and get to know the people around you. That's going to help. Right? These are solutions right from Fox News. Okay? On how to handle this situation. Okay? Take your children to church. Now, I don't know if they mean you take your children to church instead of school. Less chance of them getting shot there. Or I don't know what that means, take your children to church. 21 and over, open carry should be the norm across the country. In school zones too? In case you see somebody suspicious, you can just shoot them. Well, see, now in Texas, if you're 18, you can buy an AR-15, but you can't buy a handgun. Figure that one out. Okay, you can buy an assault rifle, but you can't buy a handgun. It's illegal. Well, they want you to put in a tripwire too. Okay. Put in a tripwire. So you can catch the guy when he comes into school. I don't know where you put this tripwire, where it's for killers only. Okay. You have to mark it. You know, if you're coming in to kill kids, here's your tripwire. I swear to God, these are all from Fox News. Prayer. You can P-R-A-Y while he P-R-E-Ys. These are different announcers on Fox. These are all different people on Fox, had different solutions. I definitely think educators need to anticipate this possibility and should be trained in carrying a firearm. Well, yeah, but that doesn't mean they should bring them into the schools. I don't know. I don't know if I'd want all the teachers that taught me to be proficient with a firearm. Ballistic blankets. It's sad it comes to this. You're right. But ballistic blankets. Now, I don't know if they mean one large one for the whole class or individual ballistic blankets. But if it's one big one, what's to keep the shooter from lifting it up and shooting under it? Set all the outer school doors. That's a good idea to exit only. I mean, that's better than what Ted Cruz said on Fox. He said that all the doors, there should be just one in and out, which I think the fire department would have a problem with. Yeah, the hardest part is each person's mind. Well, they mentioned that too, that we should focus on mental health, except that they won't fund Medicare for all. The Republicans won't, which would certainly help if they could get, if they could get free health care for their mental problems. He walked right in. That's how. The security guard wasn't there. He was busy chasing a teacher. See, that makes a lot of sense, dog. Exit only. And you got to be buzzed in. That makes a lot of sense. I like this one here. Now, it's up to you to protect yourself. That was one of their suggestions there, too. It's up to you to protect yourself. I'm 7 years old. There's a guy with an AR-15 running around the fucking school, and I'm on my own. How's that one? You like that one? I'm on my own. Fend for yourself. We only make you come here. Okay? That's our job. Make you come here. Once you get here, you're on your own. Yeah, exactly. That's horrible. I was hoping it wasn't the case. I assume that maybe he got in some other way, not just waltzing in. In most schools here, they have to buzz you in. Well, that's the way it ought to be. I can read Stoner, dog. Remember? Yeah, that's absurd. I still don't understand the sale of assault rifles. Okay. They're only designed for one thing, and that's killing people. Okay. Why do we even sell them? They serve no other useful purpose except killing people. I mean, he could not have killed that many people with a hunting rifle or even a handgun. So I don't understand why it's necessary to sell assault rifles. Masters the art of stone reading. Yes, I have. I have mastered the art of stone reading. Stoner reading. You have to. After all, Stony tunes in. I know it was. It's a cop have them to use against the people, and the people have the right to defend themselves with them. I don't know. Um, I don't know if I can agree with that. You shouldn't have to defend yourself against the police. That's the thing. It's not how it's supposed to work. You know, they're supposed to be on our side. That's why we need police reform. We can never correct ourselves again. He's a freaking genius. Yeah, you don't have to correct yourself. Dog knows that. I don't know why he even bothered. You know, unless you're a criminal, you shouldn't have to defend yourselves against the police. Okay? It's that simple, dog. Dog's lost. Yes. They have the right to kidnap me and hold me for ransom just on their word before I'm even found guilty. Yeah, I need to defend myself. Well, you going to shoot them when they come to the fucking door? You going to shoot them when they come to the fucking door? I'm sure you're not going to the door with your AR when they get there, because you're not going to have time to get it. If you answer the door without it, you're not going to have time to get it. And if they have a no-knock warrant, or even if they have a warrant that's not a no-knock, the only difference is 4 seconds. So again, you're not going to the door with it. Not with your AR. You might go there with a handgun. Besides, your FOID card is expired. So you're not going to the door with any gun. I guess I shouldn't have said that. But they don't know who you are, so it doesn't matter. They'll never find you. So Constitution says nothing about a FOID card. Yeah, but Illinois does. The state can impose restrictions. You stutter type? Oh, okay. Well, you know me, I'm a hunting pecker. You know, maybe once my other hand steadies out, I can start typing like a person again. You know, I did take typing lessons in the military. They taught me to type. So head to the store. Okay. No sandwich for you. That's right. I eat right in front of him all the time. I make him watch me eat when he comes over. Well, if you wouldn't nip at my ankles, I might feed you. But, you know, it's that nipping at my ankles all the time. I just really can't handle that. We'll see you tomorrow, dog. Take care. I don't know what I did, but everything turned blue. I don't know what I clicked on. There. I clicked off it right now. And everything's back to normal. So. So we have a sunny day today in the low 70s. So it's kind of perfect. Didn't do much this week. Just spent Wednesday in the emergency room. Went to see my cardiologist Wednesday morning. And he had me go over and had some blood drawn, and they ran some tests. And he had his nurse call me up and told me to go immediately to the emergency room because he saw something in my blood work that he suspected I might have blood clots. So I was there for 4 hours while they did ultrasounds on my legs and injected me with some kind of radioactive shit. But I had no blood clots, so I'm okay. I have to go in for a stress test next month and some other things. So we'll see how I'm doing. But I feel good. I mean, I didn't feel bad or anything. I did, no pains or anything, nothing like that. But he just thought I needed had some tests done. But as it turns out, everything was fine. So I'm still with you. Well, you got to tune in Tuesday, by the way. It's my 75th birthday. So I think I'm just going to play a list of my favorite songs. That way I don't have to do any research. All I have to do is pick out a bunch of songs. And that way I can do a whole hour's worth of music too. So I'll have to start picking them out now. And that way you can just tune in Tuesday for my birthday. And I don't know if I'll have a cake with 75 candles on it or not, but I don't want to burn the house down. But yeah, write that on your calendar. And I'll be here and play all my favorite stuff. Some of it might be stuff you've heard recently, because like Dr. John and Leon Russell, a couple of my favorite artists. So if you tuned into those shows, you might hear a song or two that you've heard before. And of course, there are other artists in the past that I've that I featured that are favorites of mine. I only play the good stuff. Well, the good's spliff. Yes, well, I like good music. What can I say? You know, I've been listening to music a long time, and I think I have a good ear. So yeah, so I'll pick out some stuff and just play what I like. So might go back pretty far too. There's some 50s stuff I like. There were artists like let's see, The Impressions with Curtis Mayfield way back when. They did Gypsy Woman, which is a beautiful song. I like that. And the Platters from the 50s, they did some beautiful love songs. I really like the Platters. I'll throw in a Platter song. So we'll see. I'll just throw some bunch of stuff together that I love. There'll be a few Beatles songs in there too. Well, you'll hear. All you have to do is show up. Of course, then, if just in case you can't make it, the songs will be available in my Tune In Tuesday playlist for the whole week. So, but I hope you're there. Yeah. Goes for you too, buds. Show up Tuesday. Play my walkthrough musical history. I should start writing out a list so I know what to download. Yeah, don't forget, buds. Tune in Tuesday. It's my birthday. I would imagine he's still there. I don't know. Well, whoever else is listening. Because it's still number 2 up there, I see. So I assumed it was Bud's. Maybe not. Maybe it's somebody else. It's a mysterious person. A mystery to me. And now that I'm sitting here, I'm just thinking of all kinds of songs I can play. Some of them I'm sure you never heard. Like The Bright Elusive Butterfly of Love. I bet you never heard that song. Never heard that one, buds? You got to tune in Tuesday. It's my birthday. Building a Mystery by Sarah McLachlan. No, I don't know that one. Did you ever hear of The Bright Elusive Butterfly of Love? Okay, don't forget. Never heard that one either. Okay, well, it's on my list. Now, no fair going and listening to it beforehand, though. Can't do that. Oh, hey, I missed it. Happy 422. Well, you're going to hear a couple of 50 songs, but they won't be bebop. Okay, don't cheat. There'll be a couple of 50 songs, but there won't be bebop tunes. Yes, it does. I mean, there's groups like, I don't know. I always liked the Platters, and well, you had um, who were those guys? Did all the funny stuff. I always liked the funny stuff, you know, like Mother-in-Law, stuff like that. Sings Let's Switch Again, like we did last summer. Is anyone else? And if rolling a joint, that song is going on. Does anyone else think of rolling a joint? Oh, Let's Twist Again? No, I never thought of that. I never thought of that, but that, wow, yeah. Yeah, that's Chubby Checker. Yeah, I don't roll many joints. Still shaky. I'll give it a shot though when I'm steady on both sides. So I'm getting a text. Trump alert. It's a Trump alert. Donald Trump is backed 176 extremist candidates this year, including contenders in multiple governor's races. We're worried. Okay, they're worried. I love making twisty joint references, and I don't even smoke. That's cool. Did you smoke, or did you stop smoking, or have you never, or have you tried it and decided it's not your thing? What's your 420 history? I guess that's what I should say. Be a whole lot easier if you don't mind it revealing it. You don't have an iPhone? Because it's a standard option in an iPhone. Ouch, burned my head. I'm tangled up in the wiring here, and I just burned my head.